If I had a sponsor for the teams, I would certainly have told you by now, that's for sure. Look, I inherited a situation whereby 3 who are our national team sponsor right up to the end of 2020 and had been for 10 years, and we thank them for their support. But I inherited that situation. Look, I've been involved in the commercial side of sport for a long time, as I say. Normally speaking, a deal of that magnitude and that complexity would take somewhere between 6 to 12 months door to door, if you like, to be consummated. So to find a national team sponsor in a COVID scenario, in a Brexit scenario, where brands and businesses are under extreme pressure for very understandable reasons, was always going to be a challenge. But does that mean we're not out in the marketplace talking confidently about the platforms that we think that we can deliver to a national team sponsor? And I completely and 100% believe in that platform, because we are the #1 sport in the world. And this year of all years, a World Cup qualification year, is one that reminds us as to how unifying Irish football can be, if you like. So we're out there, we're talking, and if something happens, and it's certainly our intention to find a partner, we will let you know.
Jonathan, thanks very much.
Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin. Rob Hartnett now from Sport for Business, please. Rob, good morning to you.
Morning, Cathal. Morning, Jonathan. Gavin has asked my question.
Hi, Rob.
I guess you're not consummated, but going out with a couple of people, perhaps. Yep. The Pixelot coverage on the First Division and the Women's National League, will there be any commentary or any additional production on that, or is that an option for clubs to bring on board, like some of the other sports might have done towards the end of last year?
Yeah, I think at First Division level and Women's National League level, that is the type of creative discussion we're going to have with the individual clubs. And we know that there are people across all of those clubs and maybe local radio stations who could provide commentary, etc., in relation to those games. The most important thing, I think, was to get the feed sorted. And actually the pictures that you get from the Pixelot system are remarkably good, and so I'm genuinely pleased that we are able to say that we will be broadcasting all of those League of Ireland and Women's National League games. But we'll be talking with the clubs. Clearly, only last night that we finally presented to them as to what the approach was going to be. But we'll talk with them to talk about those additional production issues, if you like.
Okay. A quick one. Larry Bass stepped down last week as chair of Cabinteely, and presumably from the finance committee as well, which he had some issues with previously. Has the finance committee been fully constituted yet, or has it met recently?
The finance committee is going to be part of the audit committee, which we felt was the appropriate route forward. Clearly, the board has complete oversight of all of the financial dealings of the association. So we feel that we have that properly covered, and we have, in particular, the right skill sets from for our new independent directors to help and support our overall desire and need to see financial change and financial processes, if you like. So that's the approach there. And Larry was completely aware of that. I had a very long conversation with Larry in relation to that, so he was fully aware of it. And by the way, I think it's Larry moving on is a real loss to Irish football, because I think what he did with Cabinteely was exceptional. From both from the grassroots level all the way through to the league side, if you like. But we have agreed to keep in touch. Larry has a great knowledge of the media sector and of the media landscape, and I'll be using his counsel moving forward as well in relation to our future approach to our engagement with the broadcast sector, if you like.
Okay, last one from me, just on the sponsorship side again. You've got an existing sort of portfolio of good, strong sponsors,
yep.
Nissan, Boots, Aviva. Have you had a chance to meet with, in a virtual sense or a real world sense, with any of those sponsors at the moment, and are they all fully committed and on board?
Sure. Well, I reached out to all of them when I was announced back in November. We actually have a meeting next week of all of the sponsors and partners, and where we'll speak to them in the round. And yes, I think we have all of their support. We have a couple more announcements to make in relation to renewals of deals, which I'm very happy about. Clearly, I was very happy that we had the announcements that we had with SSE Airtricity, and in particular on the basis that they had been contemplating moving out of Irish football, if you like. But after discussions with them, we persuaded them to come back in, but not just to come back in relation to the men's leagues, but also to support the women's national league, which we think was a hugely important moment. And at the same time, the Bank of Ireland have come in as a partner for all three of the leagues at associate level. Again, exactly the type of brand that we want to have associated with Irish football and with the Irish leagues. And it's exactly that type of portfolio of brands that we want to attract to Irish football. And I know that we have some work to do in relation to the overall perception and positioning of the association, to allow ourselves the possibility of brands like SSE and the Bank of Ireland and brands like Aviva and Boots, as you say, and others, to want to proactively be part of the story of Irish football moving forward. But I'm confident that we will get to that point.
Great, thanks, and good luck as you move beyond your 100 days then.
Thank you, Rob. That's very kind of you.